marked by this idea that he put others above himself. And that means he knew the gospel, and so would they. And if we don't follow that same pattern, I'm not sure what will happen. It says, when Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, what's the next part? See, because for me, the next part in the Bible here isn't what I would think. It's like Jeff was kind of tired of people for a little bit. He'd been through an incredibly rough time. He got on a boat and ran away. And when he got to the other side, there was a large crowd. I tell you, the first thing that comes up is not going to be Jeff saw them and had compassion, right? Jeff saw them and got frustrated and turned around. Jeff saw them and thought, did you not know I was running away from you? Yeah. That's not our God. And that's not what he wants us to do. He saw this big crowd of people and he said, it doesn't matter what I'm going through right now. Look at all these people. Well, we've all got some stuff in our life that if we were just laid out there, everybody would say, you know what? They got a reason to ignore everybody else. They got a reason to just kind of hold up and be a little grumpy and depressed right now. We're all going through stuff. Some of us, a lot more serious than others. But for Jesus, after hearing the news that his friend had been murdered and trying to run away from everybody, it said he saw them and he had compassion. I don't think we'd actually have to go much further in our story than this to know that the point of what he was saying was that if others aren't more important to you than yourself, you don't know the gospel and neither will they. But it doesn't stop there. It says he had compassion on them and he healed their sick. It's not just that he felt something for them. It's not just that he saw them and thought, I love them. Because there's a lot of us that are in that boat. You know, we can see things that happen. We can see things like another school shooting down in Texas. We can see things like a whole neighborhood right across the street that doesn't know Christ. We can see things like our neighbors as their marriages are falling apart. And we can feel compassion for them. But Jesus didn't just feel something. It says he went out and he did something. He spent all day healing their sick. Like he tried to run away because his best friend had been murdered, and then 20,000 people show up and he says, oh yeah, come on, we can do this. I'll spend today working on you because you are more important than me. I don't know about you, but I feel like I fail quite a bit when I hear things like this. Because I can tell you that is not always my attitude by a long shot, right? But I think that's why he shows us this story, is to say that might not always be your attitude. But let's work to get there more and more. And then this next bit. As evening approached, like as Matthew's writing this, he just throws that in there, and he's just trying to tell you, it had been a long day. Right? And if I'm one of the disciples, I'm sitting there and I'm watching the sun go down, and I'm thinking, finally. It's going to be over soon. One of Shannon and I's favorite TV shows is The Office. And then the line that we quote to each other all the time is it's Stanley, and he's just kind of sitting there in his chair watching the clock, and the boss comes in and asks him to do something. He just looks at him, nope, it is 4:45 and I've begun to gather my things. Right? and I think that's a little bit about what the disciples were feeling right now. And the evening is coming. Like we've been with these people all day long. Sometimes we want to give a little bit of help. We want to do our thing, and we want to be done with it. And I don't often think that's the way sharing Christ with somebody works. I don't think we get to do it on our timetables, and I don't think it's a quick, easy thing to do. I think it's something that's like, man, I'm tired, and I want to be done. But we can't give up the fight, right? Because if we decided at a certain point in time, other people aren't as important, then we've missed this story. And we've missed the point of the gospel. It says, no, it's about other people. But I don't know. For me, this was just such I think a revelation, if I could say that, as I was praying through it and thinking about what it means as evening approaches. Because we're in a church, we're in a country where, as we watch, the next generation isn't showing up like they should. Right? If we could just be honest and say that. There's lots of research. It's not just New Hope. They're talking about the millennials. And there's this phrase they use a lot, the rise of the religious nuns. Right? And nuns, N-O-N-E. Because as they go through and they do all these surveys, they used to just ask, what religion are you? And people would tick off whatever they were. And I have things written down because I don't remember what it was. Let's see. I don't have the exact date written down, but I think they said it was in the mid-70s they did one of these, and the people who would mark off that they were a Christian was just barely above 30%, and the people who would mark none was a little under 10%. And here we are, 3 years ago they did another one. 19% Christian, 36% marked off none. So a rise of 25% of a generation has gotten to a spot where they say, I don't believe in anything. I don't care. Shannon, she's got some friends that she goes and hangs out with all the time. She was talking to one of them not too long ago, and they were telling her how their goal for raising their children is to make sure that they don't believe in any God. Like, that's their stated goal. And they're reading books on it, and they're figuring out how's the best way to do this. And look at it, and we've been struggling through this as a nation for a while, right? And what are we going to do? And sometimes it gets tiring. Shannon and I have worked in youth ministry for 15 years before we got here. And you watch group after group after group of kids come in, and you see the same problems time after time, and you just think, I don't know. Is it worth it anymore? Do we keep trying? And I think that's why they highlight evening was approaching. They wanted you to know that was the same feeling everybody here had. And then the disciples came to him and said. And I think it's just this great turn. Because it's like evening was coming, and Jesus had been working at it for a while, and then in come the disciples. It's going to be a great project, right? And we're going to find out that the disciples didn't really have a good solution at all, but that didn't matter. They were trying. They showed up to do something. They weren't just sitting on the sidelines watching Jesus work. They said, we're going to jump in there and we're going to help fix this problem. Even though they were tired, even though evening had approached, they said, no, it's still our job to help figure out what to do here. But it's kind of a funny exchange. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, this is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the village and buy themselves some food. Right? If our point is you have to value others more than yourself, the disciples may not have done that in the best way, but they were still doing that. They were still concerned about the needs of all of the people there. They said, Jesus, there's like 20,000 people here, and we're in the middle of nowhere because you decided to take a boat to the middle of nowhere, right? You got to help these people out. They can't just come here and listen to you and us not take care of their needs. But then this next part, after I'd been studying for a while, I started laughing when I read verse 16, and I think, we often miss some of the humor in the Bible. But Jesus replied, they don't need to go away. You need to do something about it. And I just love that. It's like they come to Jesus with this problem. Hey, there's 20,000 hungry people. Let them go get food. And Jesus is like, you figure it out. They don't need to go away. But if you think about it, that's a strange solution. You have God himself that's sitting there with 20,000 hungry people. He could have come up with any solution that he wanted to. This is the same God that when the Israelites were hungry in the wilderness, right? There was just like this random stuff that appeared like little white crackers on the ground, and it was manna. They were happy. They had like these birds that would come fly in and just drop off food for them, right? This is the same God that could have just sat there and said, watch this. No one's going to be hungry all night long. Just like I told that woman at the well, if you eat what I'm giving you, if you drink what I'm giving you, you'll never be thirsty again. That's what will happen with these people. There were so many ways he could have solved the problem. But he said, no, food. Food is awesome. Food is important. Let's fix this. And you hear in one of the other gospel accounts that there was this little kid that came in and he said, hey, I've just got a little bit here. And so the disciples were hanging out and they had a couple of loaves of bread and some fish. They just took what they had, and it's not nearly enough. If we look at the problems in our society, if we look at the problems down in Texas this week, if we look at the problems of a whole generation that's growing up not knowing Jesus, and we think about what we have to offer, it's pretty much worthless. Right? What we have to offer, what we have to give to an entire generation growing up without Jesus, it's about as likely to make a difference as somebody bringing up a couple of loaves of bread and some fish and saying, I can feed 20,000 people with it. It doesn't make sense. We can't do it at all. And it doesn't matter. Because, right, the disciples say we only have a little bit. And then Jesus says, bring them here to me. It doesn't matter what you have. When you put it in the hands of Jesus, amazing things happen. If we've only got a little bit to offer, that's way more than he needs. All we got to do is bring it to him. Oh, it's just fantastic. I'm looking for it here. In 1 Thessalonians 2:8. It's kind of a verse that was repeated around my house a lot as I was growing up. I think it shows the idea of what it means to just bring a little bit that you have. In 1 Thessalonians 2:8 it says, because we loved you so much, we were delighted to share with you not only the gospel of God, but our very lives as well. We need more than just the gospel. Okay, you know that's not true. The gospel is everything. But people aren't going to hear it if all you give them is the gospel. What else is going to come with it? Are you going to give them your lives as well? It says, then he gave it to the disciples, and the disciples gave it to the people. And our church is amazing at that. We've had a couple of people over the last few weeks that have needed a lot of extra help. And it has been so fun to be in this church and watch as like 30 people just jump to it and say, we're going to do this all together. It's the same thing that Jesus did. He said, hey, look, I'm not going to solve this on my own. All the disciples need to show up, and you will give them something to eat. But if you've been listening this whole time to our entire series of And the Second is Like It, you probably are thinking that I'm wrong this morning. That's okay. Lots of people think that, right? But I told you this whole morning that the main point of the story is that if other people aren't more important to you than yourself, then you don't know the gospel, and neither do they. But that's not at all what the second is like it command that Jesus gives is. He says, love your neighbor as yourself. So why is the weird guy with the big beard telling you that you got to go further than Jesus, right? It seems like he set the bar pretty high. I don't need to add anything to it, right? But I think what's great is that by putting other people above yourself, you actually come out the winner all the time. They've done so many studies that they say the success to happiness is pouring into other people. If you spend your money on yourself, you get stuff. If you spend your money on other people, you get happiness. If you spend your time just by yourself, you get lonely. If you spend your time with the people that you love, you get joy. And read the last line of the story. It's awesome. It says the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces of leftovers. I read that and I think, leftovers? You know? This is like the food that Jesus made, and each of the disciples gets to take an entire basket full of leftovers home. The fact that they said, no, the other people are more important, and I'm going to spend some time and I'm going to break this apart, and I'm going to take a couple of fish and a couple of pieces of bread, and I'm going to break it into pieces, and I'm going to give it to everybody else. Means they left with far more than they came with. And that's the point of the story. If we're going to give to other people more than we give to ourselves, it's going to bless the socks off of us as well. And he's just trying to look at us and say, here's the deal. Go out and love other people. That's the gospel. Get out there and say, just like we encouraged the kids this morning, do something loud and big that shows everybody around you this week, I'm on God's team, and I want you to be there with me. Let's pray. Jesus, we love you. We thank you for miracles, and not just for doing miracles, but for recording them, for showing us the kind of God that you are, for showing us the things that you're capable of, and for God giving us a chance to partner in that with you. We love you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.